Alrighty. Hello everyone and welcome to another hobby hangout. We're going to be getting some Gloomspite gets done today. Hope to catch you all soon. Just putting out the notifications that we are out live everywhere. Hope you're all doing well. Alrighty. Hope everyone's doing well. If you are out there doing some hobby, let me know what you're working on. Just sending out the notifications at the second, and we'll get on to getting these Gloomspite kits all ready. Hope the sound is okay. If it's not, let me know. Alright, hope everyone's doing well. Alright. Just share that around now. Alrighty. So, hope everyone is doing well. We're up to the stage of painting up those gits. Getting the green base down on the skin. Alrighty. Bit of water. And then we're just going to get this, we're using, what is it, War Flesh as the base coat. For the gits, we've already done all the cloth on the gits. We're currently working through the 100 actual grots I have in the army. Get these guys ready for some narrative battle reports. Because that is the whole plan behind this whole war against the grey stuff, is just to get everything ready for some narrative battle reports. So we've got these guys, and I'll probably work on getting the Stormcast army that I got up to 1,000 points up to 2k. And then I got to work on Mia's Daughters of Cain to get done as well. She's got 2,000 points of those I need to paint up for her. So I should have some Dadhammer vs. Wife battle reports up. I will definitely be doing more narrative stuff between the two of us because we're just playing for fun. Although hopefully the plan over the course of the year is to potentially entice her to come to CanCon next year. I mean, I'm not attending CanCon this year with the 2 kids, so just wasn't a feasible thing to do this year, and we've just had a wedding and all that sort of stuff. So speaking of CanCon though, if you are interested in looking at anything at CanCon, go over to AOS Coach. He did a cool little list review show the other night. And yeah, getting all these kids done. I should probably be painting like that, make the camera better. Should probably be painting in view of the camera, hey? I'm sorry. Getting used to 2-camera mode again. For some reason it wasn't letting me attach my second camera up. Kept sending me to the studio for some reason. But we're back now. So yeah, if you are watching, let me know what you've been working on lately, or if you are working on something, let me know what you're working on. Be cool to see what other hobby all the fantastic groups are getting into. Definitely be doing a hobby hangout on the Thursday or my Friday morning as well. That'll be directly waiting for the reveals at LVO, which most certainly will be light elves or pointy elves, whatever you want to call them, techless elves. Cannot wait to see what will be shown there. So can't wait to get my hands on some of them pointy elves. Slowly but surely working our way through all these grots. And yeah, so smashing. Hopefully you can get the wall screen done and put the wash on these guys. At least tonight, that's the plan. And then tomorrow I can focus on getting the layers and the highlight done to the skin. And we can work on the other two major sections, and 100 grots done. That's the vast majority of this army done. Already done the Fungi Cave Shaman, so I've just got the Gobblepalooza, Scragrot, a Loon Boss, a Madcap Shaman to finish. I've started him. I've just got to finish him. And then some Boring Grok Bounders and Spore Splatter Fanatics. But yeah, this is by far like 80 or 90% of the army. Just in this one big hit of models. Yeah. Alright. So many goblins to paint. Why do I like horde armies? Once these guys are done, I've got a small beast of chaos force that I'm going to get working on. Looking at like a bunch of the different core book, campaign books and stuff, and just seeing what we can start doing. I was looking at the what do we call it? Forbidden Power campaign. I actually really like the campaign. It's got some cool narrative missions in there and stuff. So we'll give that a squeeze, I reckon, and then give that a run out. I just try and show off as many of those different sort of books as we can, different sort of style of gaming, and what you see mostly hanging around, I guess. once I got this Gitz army done. I've got to get working on the terrain soon as well, but I just want to get an army or two done up just so we can start playing, you know, and get recording. I've got some terrain I need to paint up for a tournament getting hosted near me, but the terrain is pretty quick to paint, so I'll smash out a bunch of that. So yeah, if you're working on something, let me know what you've been working on of late. It'd be cool to see what else everyone else has been doing. 64 grots down. Yeah, so making our way on the final down the last stretch. Should be 2/3 of the way there. The grots. Oh dear. If you're joining me in this giant slog of painting I have, let me know what you're joining me painting. Next work, painting. Yep, that's always my next work, painting, without a doubt. There's always more painting to be done, so I clocked off work maybe a couple of hours ago. It's pretty late in the night for someone in Australia at the moment, but I'm sort of a night owl at the moment, or at least when I finish shifts. So yeah, painting up some grots. Skaven, so you're on pretty much something just as bad and with just as many models as me, I'm guessing. Oh, I just knocked my light out. A sec. Back in a sec. Back. Light is back on. Keep my light out the plug. So Skaven, you're painting just as many models as I am. I know your pain. 4 PM in Denmark. That's alright then. It's like 1:30 in the morning here in Australia at the moment. So what sort of Skaven you're painting up? lot of Danish people come on stream and chat with me. It's cool. I don't know people chat to in Denmark, apparently. Denmark. Yeah, tournament. Well, I'm painting like. I can probably take this list to tournaments. It's not overly competitive. It's probably got a few, like, it's got a Gobblepalooza in it just because the Gobblepalooza models are amazing, but it's still like 100 grots, wizards, and spells, and some a small amount of squeaks for some punch. So it's still somewhat competitive, but just toned down in certain areas, so it's not abusive. Clan rats are on the chopping block, are on the painting block at some point, but next up we'll be painting the Wife's Daughters of Cain. I mean, how we'll likely do something Daughters of Cain versus Gloomspite on the channel. Oh, nice. Emerald spells. Yeah, I've got most of mine painted now, and the spells, so I've got to do my Sorcery Bridge for my Caesar Sigma. They're my go-to army, but just trying to do some different stuff at the moment. And mostly just getting different stuff painted for the channel, because the channel is just trying to get for the channel a bunch of different armies that we can play in, like, narrative games. Really show off, like, narrative and even open play, like wargaming, and just give a different show on how you can do, like, that points aren't everything, or match play isn't all. Like, I enjoy match play, but there are so many other things you can do. That's the idea. At this point, don't know if I'm going to bother going to sleep at this point, because there'll be a football game that I want to watch in the morning in a couple of hours, so we might just stay up and wait until the football game starts. By football I do mean soccer. I assume someone from Denmark doesn't have another reason to call it anything else but football, but anyone listening back, yes, I'm Australian, but I call soccer football because it's my football. So lots of armies, get them painted up, get them on the channel, get some narrative and open play, battle reports up, and some campaign. We'll be like getting campaigns hopefully in the next week or two. I should have up a regular schedule, and it should be we should have regular regular content coming out every week. So you should see content every day of the week on the channel coming out, which should be cool. And see stuff coming out every day from the channel. Hopefully, like, at longest, that'll be within the month. So that would be obviously Age of Sigmar, just normal games. Yeah, at least in, like, I guess from where I am, Australian football, if you've ever seen AFL, at least they do, like, they kick it. Like, yeah, they pick it up with their hands, but they kick it with their feet. They use their feet. But I am a football or soccer player. I played it all through my youth. I played at, like, youth international levels and all that sort of stuff, so... Yeah. But yeah, so hopefully content coming out on every day of the week is the plan for the channel. Whether that is Age of Sigmar, Warcry, Age of Sigmar Skirmish, board games that may not necessarily be Age of Sigmar. Me and the wife will start filming our board game days for everyone to have a look at. There'll be obviously some chat content, whether that's the Dadhammer stuff or Mortal Citizens or Battletome reviews or tournament reviews, etc. Idea, put something out every day. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks that will be a reality. So once we've got this base coat down, we're going to go back and wash all the green, and then we're going to layer it. And then from there we're going to we'll finish off the facial details like the teeth and eyes. Then we'll move on to all the wood, all the like straps and stuff, and then pretty much getting almost done on these grots. I'm gonna order some baking stuff for them though. I need some Agrellan earth. I've done the crackle bases on them, well, on the fungoid that I've already done, like a test model, and so. Yeah, so. Ugh. Starting to feel the tiredness kick in, but we'll get at least this green and the wash done, so I can move on to the next part of like the skin the next time I pick the models up. So what I find really helps when you're like painting like big batches is just to work your way in steps. So if you do a step every night, you've probably done those models by the end of the week. And so by just getting these 2 steps done, I'll be able to work on them properly when I get them, pick them up next, and not have any time wasted waiting for washes. When you're painting stuff, I always recommend, like, if you have a wash to put on, put the wash on before you put the models down, because that way there's no wasted time waiting for a wash or contrast or a glaze or anything like that, or waiting for it to dry while you're painting next time. I'll be layering and highlighting next time. So, hobby tip for anyone watching. So, we are almost done at this stage of the grots. Hooray! I think the one thing I need left to get for my Skaven, so we can have them on the channel doing everything properly. Well, weather's nice at the moment, yeah. That is not something I've had the luxury of having in Australia at the moment, is nice weather to prime models. I'm not sure if you've seen, but my country's been on fire a lot lately. Like quite literally, my country has been on fire. Priming weather has been a bit scarce, although it's been pretty good this week. Like weird, like torrential downpours in places that were literally on fire last week are now having like flash flooding. It's insane how the weather is acting at the moment in Australia. But anyway, Warhammer. What was the last model you had to prime for your army? Because because I was saying like the last model I need to get really for my Skaven, so we can get them on the table and play them like how they're supposed to play. Even in like the narrative campaigns, is we just need to get a Vermin Lord model because we've got a Screaming Bell. Which means if the Screaming Bell chimes, it summons the Vermin Lord, and so we just need a Vermin Lord to summon. Oh, nice. Thankful Bone Ripper, awesome. Thankful is one of my all-time favourite Warhammer characters. I loved him in like Gotrek and Felix novels, and even his own series was really, really well written by Black Library. Big Thankful fan. I'm going to get my own new Thankful model eventually. And so yeah, sure if you haven't noticed, the channel's been doing a heap of hobby hangouts lately, and that's the idea. It's just hobby hangouts get me painting models and keep me focused on getting the models painted. So and painting the models is very important at the moment for all the reasons I've already mentioned. Because we don't want to do narrative battle reports with unpainted models that just won't have the same feel to it. Don't want to do battle reports with unpainted models, really. So I had a few battle reports already on the channel just to sort of learn what I'm doing and stuff like that. They received alright, I think. Most people enjoyed them. For a few editing things that I worked out as I went, and just a few gameplay, like learning how to do it and like what to film, etc. Cheers. I appreciate that someone will watch my battle reports. There are some that are not particularly great. They're pretty much just up because why not put them up and tell people that you're learning how to do it. So have a look and ask for pointers while they're up. The latter two versus Skaven are much better ones than what I put up versus Slaves to Darkness. Probably work on another hobby challenge like stream as well. The last one was a pretty big success. People seem to enjoy it. Did an 8-hour challenge that I probably undersold myself way too much on how much I can do in 8 hours. So I'll probably do something like a 12-hour or 24-hour challenge and painting 2,000 points in 24 hours. That'll be the goal with that one. You get like an overhead for this second camera I've got here, so it's like up here. Oh, I completely missed my table. That could have ended really badly. And yeah, so I've organised and getting some mates together so we can work on a Firestorm campaign, which would be cool. Do some Realm Gate Wars campaigns. Might even crack out Mighty Empires and play Mighty Empires like the old fantasy one, but just update it for Age of Sigmar. Bunch of cool different things we can do with like narrative gaming. Yeah, give us time. We're just going to get the armies painted because, like I said, it's not. You want it to look pretty for narrative wargaming. I should be recording some Warcry stuff with the wife first, so that'll be out soon. And then, yeah, a bunch of different things to all look up. Last 4 grots to get the skin done on. And then we can wash them, and then we can finish up for the night. Be some decent progress. And tomorrow's painting efforts will be layering them, picking out the eyes and teeth. If there are armies you would like to see on the channel, we have collected quite a bit of a collection, and have quite a lot of armies that we can show off. So if there are particular armies you'd like to see in narrative battle reports, let us know, because we'll do our best to get them on. While I'm painting up armies, it won't be quick, but it'll just mean people want to see something, they'll get bumped up in the production line. Some built-in green. So I'm going to grab this because it's a great little wash pack. Should have something nice on it. This little thing here will make a great little wash palette. Just because I have a tile for my normal palette and it doesn't really hold the wash really well, so I can pour the wash and potentially pour it back in. And this saves me having an open pot of wash that could potentially spill everywhere. Gonna get this wash and just this grot wasn't bloody hell. This grot wasn't actually painted. Somehow he unpainted. Didn't do his arms for some reason. Put you to the side for a sec. Get back to washing grots. One grot down. If you are joining us, let me know what you're working on, or if you're working on anything, say hi. Just dropping by. Lovely to see everyone. So yeah, we're just getting all these grots washed now. Once they're all washed, we'll chuck some layers and highlights on them. Okay. So get all these washes done, and then we'll call that for a night. So we're just gonna work our way through 100 grots. Of washing 100 grots. But yeah, bloody hell, there is so much of this. Like some of them have elbows out, and I've just missed so many of these little elbows. But no worries. Hang them here, put them to the side. Alright. So many of these little elbows I missed. Problem when you get in a production line, you just sometimes miss bits here and there, but oh well. Well, we will get there. Should almost be done. So. So, is everyone looking forward, and what are you hoping to see at the LVO reveals? If you're excited at all about anything that might potentially show up. Cough. Pointy elves. Oh, nice. KO. Awesome. I play quite regularly with a really good KO player. If you follow tournament scene at all, one of my regular gaming buddies is Mr. Cancron himself. The guy who last year at CanCon almost won the whole thing with KO. So he will be going to CanCon again this year, and I'm hoping he does really well. He's a good friend of mine. He's actually one of my groomsmen in my wedding. So I know a decent amount about KO. I have been painting up a KO army for the channel as well. I got 20 Arcanauts done the other week. KO are just so intensive to paint that I needed a bit of a break after painting 20 Arcanauts. So hence why I moved on to some really simple grots just to change up what I'm doing. But I'll get back on the KO and we'll get them on the channel in some narrative games. Got some Thunderers and Aether Chemists and all that sort of stuff that need painting up. But yeah, KO should be a bunch of fun to paint up. I'll get onto doing some more. I'll probably knock out the Thunderers and the Chemist next. I've got some Balloon Boys and both Skywarns and Engine Riggers. And I've got to go pick up the KO half of Aether War that someone has gotten for me, so that'll be cool. yeah, I'd be really excited to see what they do with light elves. Quite cool. Or pointy elves, whatever you want to call them. Techless elves. New elves that are coming. There we go. There's a name we can all agree on. They are new elves that are coming. Be interesting to see. I am a massive elf fan. If you haven't seen any of my stuff, I used to play and played for almost a year long. Played for a year long. I took up a challenge that Rob from Honest Wargame had set. Going play an army for a whole year and get better at it. And I did. And I chose to go really hard on that. I picked Scourge Privateers, and I was playing my Scourge Privateers for a whole year before the Cities book even came out. So I have a whole Scourge Privateer army that is currently in the process of being updated with a new, much better paint scheme. I've got some new narrative that I will share with everyone on the channel. On the channel, one of my mates, Andrew, who does the narrative show with me, he has his own little Lorehammer sort of stuff about his own free city that he's built up. You can find that on the channel, which is pretty cool, and I plan to do the same sort of thing. No worries. Have a good one, mate. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ciao. Alright, let's finish off these gobos. Oh, ow. That was my ring. through grots at the moment. Just getting them all washed so we can start doing the layering and all that and pick out all the details tomorrow on the skin and the faces and teeth and all that sort of stuff. As I was saying before, it's always best to just, if you've got a wash to do before you stop, do the wash, because that way the next time you pick it up. Batch painting with a certain mindset, I think. So what I've been doing with these is doing working to a task. So tonight I've done the other 50 with the base coat, and then I'm washing them, and that'll be it. If you try and batch paint for too long, or I find if I try and batch paint for too long, I do wear myself out a lot. This is just, I've got a target. I've got a foreseeable target, and so most nights I try and do one thing on the batch. It's just about getting that one thing done, whether that's a whole stage of something, or on something that's a bit more, so like the skin, just a larger area. Or when I did the cloth, it was a larger area. It was getting so the skin tonight was getting the base coats done and getting the wash on, and then I'll be done for the night. That'll be this session, and tomorrow I'll do the layer, teeth and eyes. It does require, I guess, a certain mindset. It requires you to be realistic and positive. Set yourself achievable goals. There's no use going, I'm going to paint these all in a, whatever time. It just go, I'm going to do this in tonight. It's a much more achievable goal. Realistic. I do the hobby challenges. I find they're fun. The last one was a heap of fun to do, like trying to paint 1,000 points of Stormcast in 8 hours. It ended up taking 12 hours to do it in total, but I got it done. I got it so close at that 8 hours that the other 4 hours were probably very slack 4 hours, but I was going. Yeah, plan out your job. And go, what am I going to do tonight? Yeah, and that's all my thing is. I found it really helps just getting stuff done. Is just plan. Just go, I've got a target for tonight, and if I can get all this skin based and washed so it's ready to be layered next time I come to paint, it'll work. And yeah, as I was saying, if you have a wash to do it before you finish your painting lot, because it means you can start straight away and you're not waiting for a wash to dry when you pick up your paints next time. Even if it means you have to spend that extra, whatever, spent an extra 20 minutes, so probably an extra half hour once I'm done washing. My next painting I can start straight away. I'm not going to have a downtime where I'm waiting for a wash to dry. It's also good to batch paint at the start of your army, so when you get that, smash out the troops. Just get them done. Hit that nail on the head, because once you start painting all the cooler stuff, I mean, I like little goblins, they're cool, but you know what I mean. Once you start painting the squigs and all that sort of stuff, you're not going to want to paint the grots, you're not going to want to go back. Once you paint the Storm Fiends first, you don't want to paint the Clan Rats. Once you paint, I don't know, the Kinnerai and the Melusai, you don't want to paint the Witch Elves. Smash out the basic troops first, and then everything else seems like less of a chore, because you've smashed out that baseline troops, and now you're only finishing You know, because most Age of Sigmar armies have that troop choice where they take a lot of it. Even recent armies like Bone Reapers, if you smash out all those Mortek Guard first, those 60 Mortek Guard you got on that list, all you're painting at the end, you can enjoy painting Nagash or Arcan, the characters, the catapults. Because you've only got, you know, a much less significant number of models to paint at that point. I used to paint until it hurts, and well, I have done that because tournaments can sometimes do that and require you to do that, because tournaments require you to have painted models, as they should. But yeah. If you ever have the need to paint, need some motivation, you can always come jump on stream and paint with me when I'm doing these. I will do my best to motivate you along the way. Yeah, contrast does help. I'm not an overly big user of it, but there are certain colours that I really like it for. Black is one of them. Black can be tedious to paint, and especially on such high volume of models as Grots. So I just did a Storm Vermin Fur base coat. I didn't do it over one of the two colours that they provide with, just because I wanted a particular look. Because the old way used to paint Grots is doing a Storm Vermin Fur and then multiple layers of Norn oil. But so I just tried it instead. Well, maybe I could change out those multiple layers of Norn oil for just like a singular layer of contrast. And yes, you can. You can do a single layer of a single layer of contrast instead of all those layers of non-oil. So if there was an army you were painting by doing lots of washes, you can probably replace it with one layer of contrast, which is cool. That's going to speed up people's painting a lot. The other contrast I've found a good use for is white. I don't actually use it to paint white at all. What I do is when I'm finished painting white, I give a lick of the contrast on it, on top of the white I painted, and it just smooths out that coat, because white, you can get streak marks in it so easy. So annoying. Yeah, and that just helps just flatten it out. Oh, nice. Slaves to Darkness. Yeah, my kids are most certainly asleep at this time of night. It's God knows what hour in the morning. It is 2:30 in the morning currently where I am. I jump on this time because many people that follow my channel are European or American, so I try and jump on a time that's appropriate for them. Do have a Slaves to Darkness force that I need to paint up. Need to get a few more models for it. Yeah, I'm in Australia. about 95% of the AOS content creators in the world, I'm Australian. No, not at all anymore. We had a little bit of a scare, but where I am, the fires blew like out back into the bush. So, I'm not in like the major city, not in a major city, but I'm in like one of those parts just out. I'm in like the greater area, greater suburbs of a major city in Australia. So most of them were pretty far away from me. We did get some quite bad smoke and all that sort of stuff, but nowhere that we were actually in danger from fire, really. None of them where they were. We've had times when we have been, but yeah, not this time. I'm from South Australia, and most of that was the vast majority. We had a few bad ones in South Australia, but the vast majority of the stuff you would know about worldwide would be eastern states like Victoria and New South Wales and Queensland, which have all mostly gone out now, or are under control at least. So, and a lot of the eastern states just got a lot of rain, so yeah. A lot of the eastern states actually just had like flash flooding out of nowhere. So yeah, it was pretty bad. I think the worst one we had in South Australia was we have like a little island off the coast called Kangaroo Island, and like literally half of the island burnt. And that was actually the worst one we had in South Australia, so it wasn't actually on the mainland. But most of the things are now under control or gone out completely. We've had like flash flooding, as I said, in like the eastern states out of nowhere. A bunch of them lost power because of all the storms. So everyone is pretty well off now. Anyway, I've just finished washing these. That's going to be it for me for the end of the night. Thank you very much, John, for joining me. And I forget the other dude on the other thing. And Wise Fantasy Gaming with a double I. Yeah, hope to see you guys again on one of these. These ones are random. But there is one every Sunday night. So you'll probably be able to find like the event go up soon, probably. That'll be how we hang out every Sunday night. So if you need someone to put Sunday night here, would be obviously this time the day before for you in the UK. Alright, I'm off. Catch you later. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Cheers, everyone.